How are you?
I'm fine. Any doubt till now?
No, actually, no doubt, but I was able to find this. I was able to find how to make a field in this SM30 transaction mandatory.
Okay,
So,
that's good. Are
yeah.
you going to it's a screen and simply change and make it mandatory right now?
Yes, in the TMG,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is this options. Yeah, there I was able to.
that's good. Can you please show me?
Uh, can you? Should I share or because
Yeah, please share your screen.
I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hi,
hi, Alan.
Alan.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you guys?
Good, thank you. Um, Not sure what I'm sharing now. Are you able to see the screen?
Just wait for. Yeah, now it is visible.
Yeah. So, Alan, I'm just showing how you can make a field mandatory in the for a table. So this is the table.
Yeah.
Example,
Then.
I'm going to change this. I'm going to go to utilities, table maintenance generator,
Mm-hmm.
and
You went to.
environment modification, maintenance screens.
You went to screen number then.
And then here there are these
Yeah.
attributes.
This. Okay.
Sorry,
To
element
layout part.
list.
See, just wait a second. I have to explain certain thing here. This whole thing that you are seeing here now, this is a screen. You can see here screen number, right?
Mhm.
So when we discuss the concept of module pool now, there we create our own screen and you can see we have a layout button here. Just click on the layout button. When you go for the layout button, a screen will open. Just enlarge its size a little bit. Yeah. Now see, if you will click on the fields, just click on any particular field. Click on any particular field. Double click on the fields. I- Yeah, you can see in the right, we have all the properties. Okay.
Mhm.
So the whole things we discussed there, that is why I don't wanted to explain here.
Okay.
You can, if we there we may, I will explain how we manually make any fields mandatory using these whole screens. But now, please tell me how you got this. Okay.
Mm,
Click
how
on
do I
back.
go back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
click on back. Yeah.
So under this element list, you can go to
Okay.
special,
Yeah.
and then here under these options required.
Yeah, required. The same thing is done via screen there. We make it required. Okay.
Okay.
But
And
then
also I was sorry.
there becomes one challenge, and the challenge is like when you make any field required now, then your screen is going to stuck when you are not
Mm.
filling anything and you press enter.
Mhm.
This whole thing comes there, and it's too early to explain this thing at this moment. That is why I was little bit delaying. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Alan. What about you? Any doubt to you? Thank you, Mukul, for this one. Wonderful,
Yeah, no problem.
Alan.
Yes, for now, no doubts from my side. I was also practicing on a test system from our company because for me this remote desktop connection kept crashing. But I will have to
Okay.
try this weekend.
Oh,
Maybe my
well,
internet was too
you can do
slow.
one thing. You have
Hmm.
got your server, right? In your local PC. You can save
Hmm.
this credential on that server also. It will work perfectly fine. Okay.
Hmm.
You don't need to use you are not forced to use only the remote desktop. You can simply access this credential from your local PC also. Okay.
Okay. Hmm. Great, thanks.
All right. All right, guys. If it is no doubt, let's continue our session. Okay. So we were discussing views, right? How many types of views were there? Can anyone tell
Three,
me?
I think. The projection view and two others.
How many types of views? First one was, let's say, what was the first one? Database view, right?
Mhm.
Then we
Then
have projection
projection
view.
view.
And these two types of views were quite similar to each other. This guy is only responsible for a single table, but this guy, you can use it for multiple table also, right? For if you want to see the data of multiple table at the same time, we can go for database view. And if you want to project a particular table and only want to see certain fields of a table, then you can go for the projection view. Then we have maintenance one. Okay, maintenance view. This guy was responsible for maintaining maintaining data of multiple table. Again, one important step was there, that table must be related to each other. Then we have help view. What do you guys think this particular view is going to do? What do you guys think this particular view is going to do? What do you think? Can anyone tell me? This one is help, right? So this view might be responsible for providing us some help, right?
Yes.
Help view is used in search helps. You might have heard this word, search helps, or let's say F4 helps. Have
Yes.
you heard this one? Or value
Mhm.
Mhm.
help. So you can use the concept of help view inside the search helps or F4 helps or value helps. They works properly here. This will become the data source which will be providing the data using which we will be able to create our F4 helps and search help. We will see in this session later on. But for now, just for the introduction purpose, this is used in search helps, F4 helps or value helps. These three are the same words, nothing different. And again, one mandatory condition, table must be related to each other. Okay, is this thing clear?
Mhm.
So let's create our maintenance view. Let's say, sorry, help view, S11. I will select this one. We will give here our help and some name on 08 to 10. Create help view, simple short description, help view. And let's pass our header table here, right? This one was our header table which we created now, employee table. Let see guys, this in this particular help view, again the same condition will be applied that was being applied in case of maintenance view. What was the problem with the maintenance view? Do you remember? What was the problem with this maintenance view? We were getting a message relationship with unsuitable cardinality, right?
Yes.
The same stuff is there. You cannot have multiple items in your item table for a single item in your header table. The same stuff is there for your help view also. If you will apply here, just see here, I'm simply clicking on relationship button and see I will get this message again, relationship with unsuitable cardinality. Okay. So later on that we created our tables, I will simply use that table here and we will be able to create our help view. Okay, simple one. See here, I got the dependent tables. Kindly select this checkbox, click on copy button. By default, the join conditions will be shown here. My table name, its field of this table is equal to employee ID of this table. And if you will go to view fields, you can see here by default for the primary table, the field will appear automatically. And you can also select the other fields by simply clicking on here. Just double click, select it, copy, and click on activate. Sign the package and then transport request. Okay. Now guys, just focus on this icon. Is this visible?
No.
It is in disable mode, right? So one more step here, that we cannot see the content of help view directly. Okay, we cannot see the content of help view directly. If you want to see the content of help view, you will have to use it in this word. When we will be using it inside the search help, then we will be able to see the content. When we will click on F4, then it will work perfectly fine. Okay, any doubt?
No.
That's good. So this was the concept of our database view, mainly the concept of views inside our GUI part. Okay, when we will go for our ABAP on HANA course, there we will be seeing a very important concept, CDS views. You might have heard it. Okay, there we will see it and we will understand it, why this much is so popular today and why these things started to obsolete slowly. Okay, now another topic for today is indexes. Do you know this index? What is an index? What is an index?
It can be the number of iterations through a loop, for example.
A
So for,
number of iteration for a loop.
yes, for example, how often a loop is being run, and then this system table index will increase this way by one every time it loops, right?
And what do you think, Mukul? What is an index?
No. I mean, it's just like the serial number or something, but I'm not sure what this is in this context.
Okay, serial number or something. So guys, just tell me one thing. Whenever you whenever we read any book, right? So there on the very first page of that particular book, there is a page and the title of that page is index, right?
Yes.
Index page is there, and on this particular page, every chapter, the page number is mentioned, right? Let's say from 101 to 106, chapter 1 is there, right? Like this one.
Mhm.
So if I just want to read a particular section of a particular chapter, I can directly refer these pages. And if this index is not mentioned for my book, will I able to ever read that particular chapter or particular topic without wasting my time? Now this is my question. My question is, let's say I have 1000 pages and on page number 786, a very special topic called in let's say ABAP programming is mentioned, and I want to read from there. So if I don't know where is this particular topic on the book, will I be able to directly refer this 786 page, or I will have to start from the first one? I will go to one by one, then I will found this topic, then I will read it. So it will take around, let's say, 4 to 5 hours. So these 4 to 5 hours are completely wasted now.
Yes.
But if we have index, I will not waste my 4 to 5 hours. I will directly go to page 786 and I will read this topic and I will able to solve my problem, right? Now my
Yes.
question is, what is an index? Again question, what is an index?
In
Same
the
question.
in the the context of databases, maybe I think there are index databases, right? Where they have such one or more of these indexes, and then a search is easier this way.
Search is easier. That is the good thing. Because of indexes, because of indexes, indexes, the efficiency of database increases, right? And search becomes easier. What do you think? Why we are using HANA database instead of some traditional database? Because it is more powerful and more effective, right? And we can get the data very easily. If I today if I say why you are using 5G network, why you are not using 2G or 3G network, will ever switch to 2G or 3G? No, nobody will go there. They are simply looking for something new. They want the things should be happening so fastly that they should not be wasting any time on other things, right? Search becomes easier. This is the concept of index, guys. Index is created to give high performance. Okay, index is created to give high performance. And when you have an index and when you write a select query, basically select query, we write select query to fetch the data from our databases. So when we write select query based on an index, then by default our performance will be increased because we are using the concept of indexes. We already know where my data is located. We already know where my data is located. I will not waste my time. My compiler, my SAP compiler will not waste my time to fetch the data. It will directly refer to that particular location where the data is stored and it will bring it and it will give it to me. Are you able to understand what I am telling here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is the concept of index, guys. Index is created to give high performance. Let me just show it to you. So basically what you are going to see is there are two types of indexes in SAP, primary index and secondary index. Primary key will act as by default as the primary index. Whenever you mark a column as a primary key in your table, SAP automatically creates a by default primary index for it. Whenever you mark a column as a primary key in your table, SAP by default creates a primary key to it. So if I say that what will be the primary index of my employee table, can I say my employee ID, right? Is
Yes.
the primary key of my employee table or primary index of my employee table. So by default, what SAP is going to do, it will by default create a primary index for your primary key. So whenever you are going to fetch the data or search the data based on the primary key, by default your system efficiency will increase and you will be able to get the data faster. I hope this thing is clear.
Mhm.
Then we have secondary indexes. Secondary indexes are created by the developer, by us, based on the requirement. We will be creating our secondary indexes. Because let's say if I go to system, now I have got the S4HANA credentials. So let me open it. Uh, let's say I have my table employee one, and if I say that I have to fetch the data based on employee name, okay, based on employee name. So this time this guy is not the primary key, so there will be no index now. So if I want to fetch the data or if my customer want me to fetch this data based on this column, what I will have to do? I will have to create an index for it, right?
Yes.
I will have to create an index for it, na? So I will have to create an index for it and definitely I can create an index for it. And if once I create the secondary index and if I will use this secondary index to fetch the data, by default, my performance will be increased. Okay, any doubt?
Mhm.
No doubt.
Okay. Now, if index, there are certain advantage of index, there will be certain disadvantage also, right? For anything, there are certain advantages and then disadvantage also. What do you think, guys? What could be the disadvantage of this thing, of the index?
I think this will always be, I mean, this will not be always updated. When there is new data coming in, uh, then the index will also be will have to be updated. And if it's not, maybe then it cannot fetch the data.
Uh, see, the situation here is SAP is by default creating the index, okay, whenever we are marking any column. So if you are passing any record, so by default the data will be in sorted order, and you will be able to fetch the data. If I store their data like this way, okay, like this way, let's say 5, I'm not storing 7, 8, 9, 9 and 10. So if someday a guy is coming with value 6, so if SAP has simply marked this primary key and it has marked it as a primary index, by default data will be sorted. So 6 will be automatically stored here. So
Mhm.
will it be any problem?
No.
And I know now if I have to find the data, my compiler knows this ninth place is there for number 9. I will go there and find the data. Okay.
Mhm.
So this cannot be the disadvantage. One more advantage, I simply missed it. Index, whenever you create any index by default stores the data in sorted order. Okay, in sorted order. Index by default stores the data in sorted order. Whenever you create any index by default stores the data in sorted order. So sorted order, let's say this, if this data is like stored in this format 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3 or 7, then 9, 8, which one is easier to find? Obviously the first one, right? I will be able to easily find the data in the sorted order, right?
Yes.
So index by default stores the data in sorted order and we will be able to easily find the data here. Now what is the disadvantage? The simple disadvantage of this thing is that whenever you create any index will always occupy a space on the database layer. Okay, this is a disadvantage for this thing. This guy will always occupy and it will always take a space on the database layer. Always, and I mean it, always. Whenever you create any index, it will always take certain space. I know this is not a very big disadvantage if we compare with our HANA database. HANA database is very powerful and it is very big in nature. Hundreds and thousands of gigabyte are there. So we can expect to store any number of data, but the situation here is this is a little bit disadvantage for an index. It will always occupy certain space. Okay. Now let's create our index for this table. Let's say I want to create a index. So where I will go? What do you think? Where should I go? Where should I go,
SC11,
guys? Is there any radio button for creating any index?
maybe it's a data type.
Okay, let's see if it is here or not. If I go for it, is there any? Okay, let me write one more stuff. Index is a table property. Okay, it is defined inside the table. Inside the table. Go for the table in change mode. See here, we have a separate tab called indexes. Okay, simply click on it and when you will go, we can see no indexes found for table. There are no indexes created at this moment. No secondary indexes has been created. If you want, you can create it. See here, we have a button called create. Click on create index and you can see here we have got the pop-up and we can give our index name. Again, one topic here. By default, index, the name of length of a index, or say length of a index is always 3 character long. Okay, always 3 character long. You can only give a index here 3 character long. So if you want, just give any name. I am simply entering employee name. Okay. Any name you can give here. Nobody is going to question you. Totally up to you. And if your customer is giving a particular name, please pass that name only. Click on OK button. And here, as usual, give a short description. So let's say index for my employee table. Employee table. Okay. And currently you can see its status. Index does not exist in database system HDB. HDB means HANA database. So index does not exist currently in my database because I have not activated it yet. Okay, I have not activated it. Once I will activate it, index will simply exist in my database. Okay. Now guys, simply click on this table fields and you can select as many fields as you want for this particular index. Okay. I want, let's say, employee name and department. I will press enter and I will simply click on activate button and see the magic. Object saved and activated. Index exists in database system HDB. Okay, is this thing clear? So how your index is going to store over the database layer? Can you say your index stores like this way? Table name, tilde operator and index name, right? Like this way. Why so much
So
silence?
what
Mhm.
is that? That is the
This
how
one.
it's displayed. Yeah.
This one is called tilde operator.
Hmm.
This is how your index is going to be stored. This is
Ah,
what my
okay.
system is telling. This is how our
Understand.
index is
Hmm.
stored, and it is now existing in HTTP. So if you want, you can simply use it. Now, if you whenever you will fetch the data based on the index, by default your efficiency will increase. See, these things we cannot notice by our naked eyes because these things work very fastly, right? Things work like in millisecond or microseconds. But for overall optimization and overall efficiency, whatever the testers have find out, we are simply trying to understand and relate it how we, if we are using this thing, how it is going to be beneficial for us, right? So this is how we can create our indexes. Any doubt if you have, please ask me.
No.
None?
No.
Um, I'm just not really sure what the index does. For example, when you add those two fields, employee name and department, what's the benefit or why we are doing this really?
See this message. Multiple fields for standard index only. See the situation here is if you want to apply indexes over multiple fields, for these multiple fields your index will be created. Okay. And whenever you will go to find the data based on this one or this one,
Mhm.
let me just tell one thing. When we created our project details table, right? Did we mark multiple primary key here? We marked, na?
Yes, the client and employee.
So the definition of your primary index was ACP is by default going to create a primary index based on the primary key. So how do you think this was created now? Multiple
Ah, okay.
columns. You can
Hmm.
use the same thing in concept of your secondary index. Okay.
I understand now. Hmm.
All right. What about you? Any other doubt, Mukul?
No. So this is only to increase the efficiency of the
Yeah,
database. And
definitely. This is the definition. See here, this is the very basic chapter. And as for technical consultant is concerned, we are required to understand how the system flows on. Okay.
okay, and so I mean, setting this up will improve only the database, and this is not for the user.
For the user, no, no, no. It is for the efficiency of the system. What do you
Okay.
think? Whatever we are doing, is there any benefit for user? We are simply why we are doing anything here so that our efficiency can be increased. If I am writing any logic, and if
Mhm.
others are writing the same logic, if the time taking to get the output is same for both, right? Which will be
Mhm.
considered? None. And if your code is more efficient than other one, definitely your code will be considered at the first time, right?
So this is it, I mean, once we set up the index, is it viewed or can we view it differently in the F4 help or?
No. Index is not for F4 help. Did I ever tell you that index is there for F4 help? No. It is only to give
Okay,
you high
sorry, I was
performance. Okay.
the help view. Sorry, I think I was relating to help view.
So that is the next topic.